just before COVID hit. And it's basically a school to help people have a good, how do you say, personal development, meaning it's about good posture, it's about confidence, it's about self-esteem. You know, it's for regular people who want to just have a good everything from inside out. So basically, so what we do is for kids and for adults, for young kids, other than personal development, we also help people who want to become models or become beauty queens, right? But in everyday people, like normal people, which what I'm trying to say is, you know, personal development is quite important, especially now when we live in the time where social media is very big and image is very important in everything that we do, in a lot of things that we do. So having good posture just helps us have a better impression with other people. Meaning, for example, if you were sitting at dinner, for example, and you're sitting across from someone whose face is basically in their dish and just eating like this, right? You kind of think what? You think, oh, this is not very nice to look at, right? You know, things like that. Or if you're meeting somebody, if you're interviewing somebody, right? And you meet them for the first time, you're interviewing them for a job, and they have no eye contact whatsoever. You know, so you're thinking, one, this person is maybe not confident in themselves and what they're doing, so therefore, can I trust my business with this person who is not, you know, showing any eye contact, who's looking at the floor, looking around, no concentration. So this is all about having, you know, good posture, having good personal development, having confidence in things they do, having, you know, high self-esteem. So that's basically what Muse by Metinee does. And also, we also do lots of workshops that help empower people as well.
That's so great. Well,
it's a lot, isn't it?
That's so great, yes. And like personal image, especially nowadays, as you've mentioned, is really important. And how do you work with students so that they can develop that personality and personal image?
Well, because modeling or runway modeling is something that lots of people like a lot of young kids, you know, they come in and they say, oh, I want to be a beauty queen. Oh, you know, I'm going to this competition. I want to be a model. So we base our lessons around runway modeling, right? So, and that is outer. That's all about posture. That's all about how to stand straight, how to walk with your feet pointing forward instead of having duck feet or chicken feet. You know, a lot of people walk with their feet pointing out. A lot of people walk with their feet pointing in. You know, so the thing is that so that's what we tend to do with body posture. But all the other stuff, whether it's confidence or self-esteem, things like that, also comes with the lesson where at the end of every class, we do a mini fashion show. So our students have to walk in front of people they don't know. So gradually, they tend to get more confident when they have to do that. And then also, you know, it's the mindset that myself and our coaches instill on the kids. You know, when we know somebody who's extremely shy or who's been bullied, we have a lot of kids that come in who've been bullied. You know, so it's like a one-on-one conversation with them on trying to get them to feel comfortable. It's a lot of encouraging. It's a lot of saying, oh, you know, you know, you've done really, really well today. You're absolutely beautiful. It's these things that kind of help encourage them. And by the end of at least one term, you know, from a little odd duckling they turn into a beautiful swan. So it's really great to see that. So that's what we do.
I love how you're like describing this gradual change that happens at Muse by Metinee to the students. I think it's sometimes very like impressive to just see how a person could shift into a more confident individual.
You know, it's at first, myself and Mark, my partner, we were thinking, okay, you know, we're just gonna open up a school where, you know, we're gonna train kids to have better posture, who wants to be a model, beauty queens, things like that, you know. But then we started to get kids who have been bullied, who are extremely shy, who are in a shell, who live in a bubble, and parents send them to us to help us bring these amazing kids out of their little bubble. You know, there's this one student that we had that I'm so proud of, because she's of two kids, right? She has an older sister, and she's the younger sister, and her older sister is very active. You know, she does piano lessons, dancing lessons, music lessons. I mean, this, you know, well-rounded, very uplifting, perky, beautiful soul. And her sister is all about, well, I just want to stay home. You know, and the mom's like, well, do you want to take dancing lessons? No, but you know what? The money that you're going to use to pay for the dancing lessons, why don't you just buy me a cat or a bunny or a bird? So in her house, she's got all these animals. This is the story that her mom is telling me, right? Wow. And so one day, maybe about five weeks into the first term, you know, her mother came to me. She's telling me this story, and she said, you know what? I come every week, you know, and I watch her, and I thought to myself, when you said that, you know, every class, at the end of every class, we do a mini fashion show. She's like saying to herself, the mom, there's no way my daughter's going to do that, because she's an introvert. She's just, you know, just like in her little shell, right? And then she sees her daughter doing a show without saying no, and just, you know, doing it, willingly doing it. And she was very impressed with that. That was step one. And then she saw that her daughter had exchanged line contacts with two other girls in that class. And for her, that was like, I'm done. We're coming back for another term. You know, just by her daughter exchanging contact with somebody else, meaning she's starting to open up, that made her mom and her dad really happy. And hearing stories like this is really wonderful. Baby steps for some people means nothing, but for people like that, it's everything. So, you know, it's like, it's so Muse by Metinee is so much more now. It's a safe haven for people who feel like they're the odd one out and looking to kind of find their way, you know. So yeah, and it's so weird that we do this through runway modeling. You know, it's like what, right? So yeah, anyway, it's really nice.
That's amazing. That story of personal growth. Yeah. And how does that make you feel to be like a part of that?
Oh, it's, you know, I'd like to speak for myself and for my team at Muse by Metinee. It's really wonderful. You know, I always say that my mantra or my thing is you know, for my students, their success is my reward. When I see and I hear, I love chatting with the parents, because we always get feedback. I always ask, you know, do you see a difference? And then they tell us that, and it doesn't matter how tired I am. I go home feeling, oh, what a great day it is today. You know, we've like helped another student. So it's really great. For our beauty queens, you know, we had Miss Great Britain come and train with us recently, who's going to Miss Universe to go and compete in Miss Universe, and, you know, all these different beauty competitions, platforms that come and learn with us. You know, Mrs. Thailand World went to the Mrs. World competition and won Best National Costume Award. So, you know, it's things like this that's just, you know, it's great and it's refreshing, and I've always wanted to be a teacher since I was a kid, and to be able to do it now and do it for all the great reasons it's nice. It's really nice.
So congratulations on all of your student success.
Thank you.
I really look up to how you're like part of that journey of curating the person who they are today. And I would also like to point out how like you're not just regurgitating information into the students' heads or like their minds, but you're also enforcing it by allowing them to have like these mini fashion shows at the end of the like classes or sessions, right? So these are like a reflection of what they've gained so far, maybe. So like you could see their gradual development.
Well, you know what? Just to so you guys get a good picture. Like, so our students, our youngest is 4 years old, right? We have students that are 4, and then our oldest was 58. Okay, but our youngest, like, so how do you teach a 4 or 5 year old kid, right? How to walk and have good posture and how to model. And so it all starts with, because you know a lot of Thai families where they come with their nannies, and the nannies, they come in and they bring the shoes and the water bottle, and they, you know, masong deck straight to the classroom and want to put their shoes on. Not at Muse. We have, Kun Mae ka, we have the parents stop at the door, give the kids, you know, their stuff. They have to come in, put on their own shoes, change their shoes. You know, we try to get them to do things themselves, the young kids. And teaching 4 to 8 year olds is probably the toughest classes that all of our teachers have to teach, because it uses so much energy. Like, they will not listen, they will run around. So basically, when you start to see them fidget and get bored, it's like, okay, jumping jacks, let's do 10. Okay, let's play tag, you know, and it's kind of like that. But at the end of the day, you see that, you know, they actually can model. And they've learned how to put on their own shirt and their own clothes and, you know, things like that. So it's all about personal development, not just the outer, but inner as well. So, you know, we've had a few kids who I think are probably ADHD and very, very like, doesn't know how to express their emotions or how to take directions well. So we kind of find a way to balance it, and then towards the end of the class they're like, not bad for a 4-year-old.
I'd like to add on to that by asking a question. How do you think stepping out of their comfort zones, like by the students stepping out of their comfort zones, not relying on their nannies anymore, how does this contribute to the development of the children?
Well, it's kind of very difficult because they're only spending 2 hours a week with us, right? So whatever they do in the classes, the moment they finish, they're like back to the same life, right? So it's very difficult, but there have been times where I do have a chat with their parents, and I say, you know, let's try to have less nanny pampering so she can do things on her own. You know, like there were times where our lesson is photo shoot, and the nanny's sitting there, look, feeding this.
Wow.
How old was she? It's a 12-year-old, 11, 12-year-old, yeah. And I'm just like, right. And then so on a different day, you know, I'll find a way to have a chat with her mom and say, oh, you know what, why don't we just give her a chance to do things on her own? Because one day when she becomes a superstar, you know, you can't baby her, and she has to know how to do things on her own. She has to tan kona, because if she's not, you know, you can't be there all the time. Her nanny's not going to be there all the time. She needs to know how to fend for herself and do things. And she's like, oh yeah, oh okay. แม่เข้าใจ I understand and so it's kind of that yeah
I love how you're enforcing independence into these children.
yeah well it's also probably because I grew up that way, my brothers grew up that way. I mean we had to do everything ourselves and so yeah.
That's great. Also, like the idea of enforcing like runway and pageantry into like a journey of personal development, that's so unique. And how did you come up with that idea?
Well, we started out. I started when I did the Face Thailand. I was mentor on the reality show. I sent my kids to go learn different things because I wanted them to be good. Actually, I wanted to win every campaign. That was basically the story behind it, right? But so I sent them, everywhere to learn acting, to learn dance, and everything. And then I thought, maybe it's time that I open something of my own. So I got together with my brother Mark, and I said, hey, you want to do this with me? Let's do it together. And he's like, okay. And so we got a team together, and then it just gradually got bigger and bigger. Initially, it was just a school to teach runway modeling, and then it just grew to something so much more. And it's growing even more now because not only do we do runway, personal development for beauty queens, models, but we also have dancing. We've got Latin dancing, ballroom dancing, hip hop, K-pop. We've got acting because once our students finish, we have 4 levels. Once they get to the 4th level, it's basically for people who want to go into the entertainment business. So we thought, okay, let's bring in acting so we could see this person is really good in acting, and so they can pursue that career. So we're also expanding into having our own modeling agency as well. We're managing a few of our students as well because we have hundreds of kids. I mean, we've been open 3 years. Each term is over 100 kids plus. So beautiful, amazing, unique, different kids are coming through, our school. We're like, okay, I think, Mark was like, well, it's time we try and, manage these kids. So yeah.
I'd like to point out how at first you're kind of like the curriculum starts off as like a very open thing where a student are able to choose to like explore and find what they're passionate about based on like participating in like searching for their passions, right? So and then it becomes more specific at times and more particular in a specific field so that they could develop that and like kind of fully dedicate their time to like becoming an expertise in that sphere.
Yes. Yeah. We also get kids who don't like it. Not everybody likes it, right? So there's some kids who come, and they're like, okay, well, the parents, obviously, the mom is like, well, give it a try. 1 term, you might like it. You might not. Some kids hate it, but which is fine. You've tried it, you've been there, done that, and then okay. But at least they leave, having good posture, and hopefully maybe one day when they're older, they'll remember a little bit of what they learned, and it'll help them grow even more.
So you mentioned your school, right? I see that I can see a couple of products as well. So you launch like business and products.
Yeah, like I said, I've been in the business a long time, so